What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. This would be the 4-1-2-1-2 custom tactics and instructions and how to use it and how I would recommend using it. I think I've devised the perfect balance between not being exploited too much on the wings, which is one of the 4-1-2-1-2's weaknesses, the second variation anyway. And the second thing is to try to prevent the first time shots outside the box. You know, that's becoming ever more prevalent now. If you're playing team in the season, weekend league during team in the season, you would know some of the times you're just conceding first time shots from all around the penalty arc. So I think I devised the perfect balance that will avoid this, and also you can have fun with this formation. You know, this is a formation to have fun with. It's not a defensive formation. It's not a formation you're going to sit back in. This is a formation if you need a goal, you want to have fun. You know, really good Tiki-Taka play. I think this is one of my favorite formations for Tiki-Taka. To be honest, this formation, you know, the triangles are insane, especially with the cam as the outlet player. It's something else. I used to love this formation. I always did in FIFA 18. FIFA 18 used to be my main and only formation in FIFA 18. But I'll be honest, the wing play I think is a bit more, I would say it adds a bit more dynamic. It gives you kind of a dynamic outlet and a different play style. People are very weak down the wings, I think, and that's why I think this year 4-2-3-1 has kind of trumped, although it was last year as well. But I think that's why this year 4-2-3-1 has become the absolute meta, not just for pros, but I think for the average consumer of FIFA as well. Going straight into the tactics and instructions. Now, pressure and heavy touch is what I like to use. I think because it's a very narrow and compact formation, even when you do lose the ball, these players they kind of all go from like a very narrow position and then they migrate outwards and then they kind of press. I think it's really good to win the ball back. I think you're really ideally you can use drop back, but this is not a defensive formation. You want to win the ball back as soon as you can, especially if you commit the fullbacks forward. You want to apply as much pressure as you can to get the ball back as soon as possible. This provides the perfect balance between maintaining your stamina and promise press after possession losses. Sometimes there might not be a guaranteed chance you're going to win the ball, whereas with press after possession loss you press for 7 seconds. But pressure and every touch your players only commit when there's technically a chance to win the ball, or a good chance anyway. Width 6, it's quite a narrow formation naturally. You're going to be exploited down the wing, so you want to have a good width. I would say 6 is a good width to have, so at least that way you're not getting exploited too much down the wings. It's enough to essentially put your opponent away, because you have the CDM and the 2 centre mids. You don't want them to be too narrow, because then your wing player will be exploited. But I think 6 gives the perfect balance between your players being in such a position where they're occupying the wings and the center. You'll know what I'm talking about when you use the formation. You'll see what I'm talking about. Depth 5, as I said, there's no point going in the lower depth. You have pressure on heavy touch, so you don't need to worry about having the low depth to get counter attacked. Generally speaking, you want to win the ball back as high up the pitch as possible, and generally speaking, you want a decent depth, so that way you have your cam and your 2 strikers as far forward up as you can. As soon as you get the ball with your CDM, you're going to pass it to your centre mids, and then they're going to pass it to your cam. And then once your cam gets the ball, he's going to pass to one of your strikers, or do a through ball in behind, so your strikers can run into it. But I wouldn't recommend going beyond 5. As I said, these tactics are made for the average player. So if you are very good defensively, you can go towards 7 depth. Sorry, but I wouldn't go anything beyond that. Offensive style, I'll lead towards balanced. I experimented on long ball. It is good, but it's already a very narrow formation. Quick 1-2s, as you can see here. You don't really need a long ball. Players are going to make the runs anyway with the instructions on getting behind, so I wouldn't recommend long ball. It's not needed in my opinion. Fast build-up play, I think you're just going to be exploited too much. I think too many players commit too forward and too fast. I think now let's be realistic, people are defending very nonchalantly. They're not really pushing anymore. People don't really press as much. So I think, pressing from the back anyway. So I think fast build-up play, it is ideal if you want to play counter-attack football, but I'll be honest, balance is just better all around. If you really want, you can just push players forward. Like for example, I have Busquets here. I've seen it showing you this clip before. I just do a 1-2 with him and I push these players forward, just with a quick 1-2, an L1 X or LBA pass. Now width again, offensively should I say, again you want 6 width. You don't want to be too narrow, because you just remember you're going to, typically speaking, let's say you go up against a 4 defender formation and 2 CDMs. You don't want to be really narrow, because you're going to be congested in the middle. Because let's just say, for example, against a 4-2-3-1, that's how people are lined up. If you're too narrow, you're just going to get over congested by a 4-2-3-1, because most players have their strikers even on comeback on the fence. So you don't want to. So I think 6 gives, again, is the best. So when you do win the ball back, there's almost no transition. But more importantly, the best thing with 6 width is that it gives you the perfect balance. But you can still play Tiki-Taka, as you can see in footage. You can still play Tiki-Taka, but your players are not that narrow. People keep making a mistake of having 1 or 2 width. I wouldn't recommend that for the 4-1-2-1-2. It's already quite narrow as it is. Now, players in the box. This is a debatable one. Personally for me, because you're on pressure on heavy touch, I think having any more is counterproductive. Now, let's be real, you're not going to be going, with this formation, you're not going to be going down the wing to cross the ball in, or else you won't be playing a 4-1-2-1-2. Second variation anyway. So this is more direct football, so you kind of want your CDM and your 3 centre mids to be outside the box, and then you want for example, your cam and your 2 strikers inside the box. So I think 5 gives the perfect balance between that. You still have your players outside the box as outlet player, so that means when you do get a ball, for example in this clip I run forward on my fullback, when you do get in a position and you do eventually get into a position when you run forward, you're going to have the specific players in the box to either do a driven pass inside the box or pass outside the box. It gives a good balance, is what I would say. So I wouldn't recommend anyway going any more than 5. I would say if you are going to increase that, just be careful, because you will be counter-attacked. That's what I would recommend. Now, corners and free kicks. To be completely honest, whatever you prefer. Every time I get a corner, I normally just pass my corners. I always go short. If you watch me, I never cross the ball ever. So for me, there's no need. So I normally put these on 2-on-3, but I honestly would either just keep this on default, or whichever one you use. Now, the instructions, the main thing. Now, both strikers on get it behind. As you can see, generally speaking, you want these guys, as soon as you get the ball with a cam, you want these guys to shoot forward into the box. You want them to be targeting the 2 centre backs and just basically causing confusion. You really want to, especially with team in the season players, you're going to have very fast players with 90 plays probably as your forward players, and you want them to get in behind as soon as you can. The most important player, as I said, is the cam. Most cases, the ball's going to go through your cam and your CDM. These are the kind of the 2 players. Once you get the ball from your fullbacks or your centre backs, it doesn't matter. It's always going to go through your CDM to one of your centre mids, and then through your cam, and then to the striker. So, in my opinion, you want to put the best position, the best player you have. So, in my opinion, you want to put the best player you have in the cam position role, is what I would suggest. Furthermore, adding on to that, should I say rather, have him on stay forward, because you want him to be high up the pitch as possible. You want this is my opinion personally, don't put your strikers on stay forward, put your cam on stay forward, and what that will create is kind of a pocket of space. So when your strikers do get the ball, because when your strikers are on stay forward, they're going to be too high up against the defenders, and if you have them on getting behind, they're just going to be caught offside. But if they're on balance, so they might come back to help defensive support. When they're attacking your defenders, they're going to be in much more further back position, so then that will give you time to make the pass and find them in behind. That way they won't be caught offside. Both the left centre mid and right centre mid are both on balance, but if you have if you have defensive problems, should I say, put one of the centre mids on stay back while attacking. For example, here's a situation where Busquets, I have him on stay back while attacking. I lose the ball. Vieira's my only CDM, but he's almost caught out of position. So I have, for example, Busquets in this instance on stay back while attacking. So it kind of gives you the 2 players that are going to be back just to provide you some more stability. That's what I would say. Anyway, but make sure, which is very important, make sure you have these players both on cover wing. Just remember, have them both on cover wing. It's really important, because you have no wingers in this formation. Especially if you commit your fullbacks forward, you're going to be exploited on the wing. So you really want them on cover wing. don't make the mistake on putting them on cover center. The CDM, the normal cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, and cover center. Cover center is important, obviously, because you already have your left centre mid and your right centre mid on cover the wing. Now, left back and right back. For me, stay back while attacking. If you really want to push your fullbacks forward, then use press up on the D-pad and use fullbacks during the attack. That's what I would recommend. If you really want to attack with your fullbacks, press up on the D-pad and press fullbacks during the attack. Otherwise, to be honest, I would leave them on stay back. You can leave them on balance, but it's already quite attacking formation. Unless you really want to push players forward, you can always push players forward manually, pressing L1 if the guy is parking a bus, for example, in his clip, and you can bring your fullbacks into play. Also as well, people are saying that this formation is quite narrow. If you have a goal kick and you're having problems with distribution and you don't want to pass it out through the back, you can always use hug the sidelines, as you can see from these clips here. Hug the sidelines so you can win the ball with your fullback and then get the ball with your fullback and then go inside. Likewise, when you're getting pressed, if you're getting pressed a lot, you can always, to relieve pressure, you can use hug the sidelines. For example, here, getting pressed by my opposition, just to play it safe, I use hug the sidelines, just to split my right back and my left back up, to hug the sidelines, and that'll be the outlet player for your attack. As I said, this is actually really good formation. Give it a try. As I said, I would recommend my instructions. Give it a try, see what it is. Get in behind for both strikers. Cam on, stay forward, get into the box as well for the driven crosses. And one on both your left centre mid and right centre mid on balance. But if you have problems defending, which I would recommend, stay back while attacking. CDM on cover centre, stay back while attacking and cut passing lanes. Left back and right back on stay back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other video, I know, let's be real, FIFA's coming towards its close. Ultimate Team season just around the corner. If you have any other questions, let me know and I'll make a video on those. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy and I'll catch you guys next time.